Hello, Manheim Central. This video is to show you how to connect your eSchool gradebook and your Schoology gradebook. So first and foremost, you want to make sure that you go into your eSchool gradebook and that you create the categories and the weights that your department or your course um, normally uses. So make sure everything the way you normally do it for a school year is created in eSchool first. Make sure that you write down the categories and the weights and have them beside you so that you are using the exact same wording when you go into Schoology. Okay, so I'm in a Schoology course right now, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here over on the left to Gradebook Setup. From Gradebook Setup, this is going to be where I put in my weights and categories and things like that. So if you're doing total points, you really don't have to click this at all. That's only if you're going to weight the categories. And you'll notice I only have one category that I've created, which is activity. This is just our course for our online homeroom. So really there's actually nothing I need to have in here other than to show you for this purpose. Um, so here you have the activity. If I wanted to have more categories, all I do is hit the plus button right here, and then I can type in, let's say, homework. I can say total points or percentage, and then you're going to see here where it says drop the lowest if you'd like that. And then I'm going to hit create. So now I have two categories in here, and I hopefully already have made those categories within eSchool. So this is something that would happen after I've done everything in eSchool. Now, if I wanted to weight the categories, I would click this here, and then it's going to give me weight. So percentage would be 50% each if the weight is equal between the two. So it's going to average those two categories. But you can also say, I want this, 75 and this 25. So then you can do the different weights that you have for your classes. All right. I'm going to take those out. Now that I have that done, you can come down here and really check to see what's going on here. There are some some things that you can actually hide from students that they don't see. So course override column, if you would want one of those, you can put that in there in the grade book. You can hide the grading category score columns. You can have a grade period override column, and then you can, if you're using total points, have a total points column. So when students go into the course, they can see how many total points they are supposed to have. For the visibility, this is more for what students can see. You can hide the overall grade in the student grade report. So why would people do that? So sometimes people hide that overall grade because there may be times when you just want to add a grade into eSchool, or you may not put everything in Schoology. If you are syncing over, I highly suggest you put everything in Schoology and just make it easier on yourself. However, that's completely up to you. So if you, let's say, at the end of the marking period have a participation grade, or you have some other type of grade that you want to add, you can hide that overall grade in the student report. And then there's no confusion when they go into Schoology. They just see what they're getting graded on the assignments in Schoology. And then when they go into eSchool, they see the cumulative grade. Okay. Hide the grading period grades in student grade report. So they have an overall grade. That means like up here when we said this is for middle school, each marking period is worth 25%. You can hide the overall, and then you can hide the marking period grade as well, just so they're not seeing those two grade reports. I'm using total points, so I'm not hiding the total points achieved because I have that clicked off or checked off. And then allow faculty to view student mastery details and allow students or members to view student mastery details. That's only if you're using the student mastery gradebook, which we are not. I'm going to hit save. And now, as I go into the last part, This is why doing the eSchool categories is important to do first. So I'm going to scroll down, and over on your left, you're going to see eSchool Plus, and we're going to click there. So now, if you have classes that are linked, this is a spot where we find students, I'm sorry, that teachers get confused in. So you're going to have to configure each group. So for me, this is just one class. I don't have anything linked. So I'm going to hit configure, and in the configuration, I'm going to look, okay, these are the categories that have been built in eSchool. And I need to be able to connect these. So I'm going to look down here. There is no activity over here, but there is a homework. So you can see here, homework, I want to include that category. Now, I can actually click homework. So notice it says Schoology category here. My two come up. Now, I don't have eSchool set up for this class. This is my Barren time, so I don't need students set up for it. But if it were set up in eSchool, this right here would already appear. I wouldn't have to include category because it would automatically appear because it would know, oh, you have that category in your eSchool gradebook. And then I'm going to come down here and there is a save. So a lot of times people think this is automatically saving and it's not. So make sure you save configuration. And then you must do that for every category you've made in eSchool. You must click which category it's going to align to in Schoology. So, you know, I had activity. Well, there is no activity over here. So maybe I want to say if I have activity in Schoology, it really is classwork here in eSchool. That's what it means. Now, a couple of things. If this is a linked course, right up here, tiny, you're going to see a drop-down menu, and you're going to click that drop-down menu, and you are going to then say, I am picking my next class. Make sure you hit save on this one, then come up here, click the drop-down, and click the next group. When you click the next group in your linked classes, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to put those in here and then come down here all the way and hit save. You'll need to do that for every class in the link section. Now, there's a couple of things that once you do this, I just want you to be aware. A couple of things. Number one, if you have an assignment and it's due at the end of the week, so what you need to make sure that you do is a couple of things. So in the grade book, when you have an activity that's due in Schoology, so let's say it's due on Friday, but you have students completing it. So you have students who have you've graded it, but it's not due till Friday, and it's Monday. In Schoology, it's going to average your grade right away. It's going to show the grade right away. It's going to give them their overall grade right away. It doesn't matter that the due date is Friday. However, if you come in here and you sync changes, meaning it's going to push over the grades into eSchool, I'm telling you right now, that eSchool gradebook will only calculate that grade and show that grade, publish that grade, once the due date has passed. On that due date, it will show it. It will not show it before. So you might have grade differences between Schoology and eSchool based on the due date. So Schoology, it depends, when you take it, you get a grade, and it shows it, and it's published, and it's there. In eSchool, it won't show it until the date has actually gotten here. A couple of other things. I prefer to go in and click Sync Changes in eSchool Plus here. However, you can do it within the Schoology gradebook. You can hit Sync Changes. Sometimes I like just to click each item as I sync it. The reason I say that is there have been glitches in the past where it literally syncs every assignment that you have for that marking period. So if this is a class you've used before, what ends up happening is it might put a lot of assignments in your eSchool gradebook without grades, that you might decide later on that you're not going to use. So it's easier to click it and then, sync it from here, okay? Which is just easier to do. In the grade book, if you're syncing grades, there is a little button at the top. I'm hoping it shows. Yep, right here. You can click that and it says it sync changes to eSchool Plus. I prefer to go down into eSchool Plus on the left side and do it from there. Again, it is up to you. When you are syncing changes, make sure that you sync changes for all linked sections. So go into each section. If this is linked, there would be a drop down, and sync changes for each section. Just because you hit sync changes does not mean that it's sync changes for every section. It's just showing you one section at a time. It's going to sync changes for that section that you've clicked on. If you have any questions, reach out and I'm happy to help you.